Millz Young here. Who's ready to bet on UFC? Me. That's who. So I'm going to be going over UFC Fight Night. I'm going to go over the whole card for you guys. Fight number one all the way up to the main event, leading off with Dawson and Bobby Green. But before I do that, I'm going to need all you guys that's watching this right now to go ahead and smash that like button for us over here. Over here at Pick Dawgz, we go over the best videos that you guys can get on the gambling content world. And the only thing we ask is a few likes out there. That's it. All right. Now, look, man, we had a week off, okay? No UFC, but we did have one championship last week. Right now, I'm coming off the Bellator event, okay? The Bellator event is going down this week, too, so you guys need to stay tuned for that, too. You got 3 title fights on that as well, so stay tuned and, might drop some gems on there and some parlays on some ways to go. All right. First fight of the night. Who we looking at in this one? Montana De La Rosa, 8-1, taking on JJ Aldrich, 12 wins, 6 losses. Okay, Montana De La Rosa, real familiar with her. She came up from the Ultimate Fighter. She made her name in there. Ever since then, she was able to go in the UFC and, get some decent wins. She's a girl that's going to go for the takedowns. She's a not the best striker on the feet, but she's tough, man. She went to a draw with Mara Brennan Silva. Besides that, her notable wins isn't nobody that you're going to really say anything about. She's the -145 favorite on this one. JJ Aldrich, the difference is on her, the opponents that she fought, they're a little bit better than Montana De La Rosa. She fought the better names in there. She's coming in the dog in this one after coming off of a win in her last fight out against Nia Long. So I think in this one, though, the favorite's right, man. I think it's going to go to the decision. I think Montana De La Rosa is going to get those takedowns and takes what it takes to get this win. All right, next fight moving on the card, taking place in the bantamweight division. Johnny Munoz Jr., 12 wins, 3 losses, taking on Richie Lang, 24 wins, 11 losses. It's a pick-em price on this fight. So either way it go, either way you guys like it, hey, somebody's going to win and you guys ain't going to lay no chalk to talk. Me? Johnny Munoz Jr. is a decent wrestler, but when it comes down to it, that's all he really does. His striking is not there, and he doesn't strike that much. And if he doesn't get those takedowns going, Richie Long's going to light him up on the feet. But Richie Long, he can't be trusted out there, man. His last time going out there, man, he hasn't been the most trustworthy opponent out there. That's why it's a pick him on there. He has the better team. He trains at Fight Ready Gym. That's one of the way more knowledgeable camps out there in Arizona. So, but, man, he got dropped in his last fight out against Zahabi, I want to say. And, that's not a good look. So, I think the fight's going to go the distance in this one. I'm going to go ahead and go with Johnny Munoz Jr. He trains over here, locally in Southern California. I think he can get the takedowns and get it done. Make it a greasy one. If not, hey, man, yeah, it could go either way on this one. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with Johnny Munoz Jr. Yeah, Johnny Munoz Jr. gets it done in that one. Next fight, moving on the card. Big favorite, Kanaka Murata, 12 wins, 2 losses, taking on Vanessa Demopoulos, 9 wins, 5 losses. All right, so Kanaka Murata, last time we seen her was in 2021. Took some time off. Now she's a big favorite. 3-1 favorite on the books out there. -350. Vanessa Demopoulos, last time we seen her in the ring, she was taking an L against Karina Kalovics. That's going to be fighting on this card. She's one of those fighters that, came from the LFA. She likes to pull guard way too much. But she's scrappy, though, But in this one, I think the favorite's really warranted. I think Kanaka Murata gets it done in this one. Not going to spend too much time on this one. But, yeah. On to the next fight. This one's going to be a good one, though, man. Nate Maness, 14 wins, 3 losses, taking on Matias Madonka, 10 wins, 1 loss. Man, Nate Maness is moving on down. Moving on down to a weight class to where, he's going to be the way bigger fighter, man. His frame, he's like 5'10" or something like that, for the division, So he's going to really have an upper advantage on these folks that's going to be fighting at this lower division that he's in now. But he's a big underdog, man. The reason why he's an underdog because his opponent, Mendonca, he hits like a Mendonca. He's Came in the UFC. He took that L his first time coming out, but the way that he was fighting in the fight, he showed everybody exactly, who he's going to be in there. He took an L to Jabbar Basharat, but it was a good showing of him. All right, so he trains over there with the shootbox type fighters. That's Charles Oliveira, the champ, not the champ, the guy fighting the champ coming up. So we know what we're gonna get with them. They're always gonna be in there swinging and blowing. He's a minus 220 favorite on there. I interviewed Nate Maness. I like the guy, man, but he's 0-2 in his last 2 fights, and he would have been 0-3. But the guy that he was fighting, Tony Gravely, he was able to pull it back and pull out like a knockout in the second round, but he was about to get finished in the first round. So I kind of look at it like Nate Maness is really almost 0-3 in his last fights, and he's moving down to a different weight class. I think the favorite's warranted in this one. I see a lot of people betting Nate Maness in there. I like him and all, but my bias ain't going to get me to pick him, so I'm going to go with Mendonca to get it done. Next fight on the card. Another women's fight going on in this one, taking place in the strawweight division. Karolina Kowalkiewicz is taking on Diana Belbita. Both got identical records, 15-7 on both of them. Diana Belbita, though, she's the younger fighter. I get it. She's from Canada. I get it. But she doesn't strike that good at all, man. When you see her striking out there, you'll be like, what is she doing? She keeps her head down when she's throwing. So whenever you're doing that, you're not going to be able to, counter back and see actually what's happening. She doesn't go for takedowns. She does struggle with takedowns. Her opponent, Carolina, she's a lot older fighter in there. Everybody thought she should have retired about 3-4 years ago. I tend to agree with them back then. But she didn't. And she was able to pull off some new wins in the rear. She was training with Jordan Jacek over there at the team about 1.5 years ago. And she said, that gave her a lot more confidence and stuff. And, now she's putting in some more wrinkles in her game. She's using the takedowns and stuff, being a lot smarter fighter out there. Not just going out there and being scared anymore. And you know how it goes. When you win, you get paid your show bonus in your win. So, that's another like $40,000 on top of it. Or just depends on your contract that you sign. But in this one, she's the favorite. Minus 160. I think the favorite is warranted in this one. I think Carolina gets it done. Next fight on the card. Prelims. This one's going to be a banger. Banger. Okay, who is it? Philip Lins, 17 wins, 5 losses, taking on Ian Cutelaba, 17 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw. Taking place in the light heavyweight division. Ian Cutelaba is the favorite. Minus 150 on the books out there. Philip Lins used to be a heavyweight, came down to the light heavyweight division. It seem like, he's a lot better fit for the frame out here. His last couple of fights, his physique got good. You can see he's putting in work in the gym. He's taking on one of the guys, though, that they call the Hulk. Literally, he used to paint himself up as the Hulk and scream at people at the weigh-ins. Ian Cutelaba has ways to win, but he also has ways to lose. He tends to gas out as the fight goes. He's one of those guys that kind of puts it all together in the first round, and puts all his effort into it. But I think he's going to be able to get this one done, man. I think he's going to be able to, use the takedowns. And I think the old Ian Cutelaba that we used to see, I don't know if we're going to be seeing that anymore, man. I know that, once you lose like 2 fights in a row and then, get a win and then you lose again and then they look at your record and it's kind of like, all right, out here 7 or 8 fights. If you got 5 losses, you're probably not going to be in the UFC no more, But they kept him around. Philip Lins on the other side. He's a guy that doesn't throw a lot of striking and value. I will tell you, though, man, this is one where the dog can be out the cage. So I tell you like this. If you guys are looking for a decent dog to jump on, if you guys are thinking about betting Philip Lins, it might be, it might. But he doesn't strike enough, And sometimes when he's out there, it just seems like he's just going through the motions. And if he's going through the motions, I'm going to go with Ian Cutelaba to be the more aggressive fighter to get it done. And I think round 3 starts too. That'll be a prop I like in that fight. Next fight taking place in the main card. But before we do that, let me know, man. What are you guys betting on this UFC card? You guys see anything you guys like on there? What dog do you guys like on the card? And also, man, smash that like button for me one time right now. Let me know if you guys are watching this, where you guys are located at right now, and everything like that. All right, let's keep it going. Main card taking place. Bill Algeo, 17 wins, 7 losses, taking on Alexander Hernandez, 14 wins, 6 losses. Bill Algeo is a favorite. I think it's like a minus 145 out there. Alex Hernandez is a dog on this one. Alex Hernandez is one of those guys that was supposed to be something, but he wasn't. But Bill Algeo, he's not that good. His wins is against opponents that doesn't have any more fights in the UFC. I'm going with Alex Hernandez in this one. I think the dog's out the cage. So next fight on the card, who do we got? Drew Dober. 26 wins, 12 losses. Who's he taking on? Ricky Glenn. 22 wins, 7 losses, 2 draw. I think Ricky Glenn's done in this one. Drew Dober's a big favorite. Minus 400, man. Why? Because his last fight out, he got finished in there by my boy Matt Frivola. Now, this is what you call a get-back fight. One of those fights to where they set you up with somebody so you can win, so you can get back right. Ricky Glenn, I think he's on his retirement way out. I think Drew Dober gets this one done in this one. Next fight on the card, another banger alert. Another banger alert. Alex Moreno, 23 wins, 8 losses, taking on Joaquin Buckley, 16 wins, 6 losses, taking place in the welterweight division. Why do I emphasize that? Because Joaquin Buckley's stepping down to the welterweight division. Joaquin Buckley's a favorite in this one, man. He's one of those guys that putting together better game plans, because he used to be a guy that was standing out there with no fight IQ as the fight would go. Now he's using wrestling too, and he's not gassing out. Alex Moreno, though, fight IQ is there. He's one of these veterans that have been fighting for decades, pretty much a decade at that. Coming off a win against Tim Means in the second round before that. Before that, he got knocked out against Ponzinibbio. I was at that fight. But I'll tell you guys like this. I think Joaquin Buckley gets it done inside the distance in this one. But if he goes for takedowns and if he leaves his neck there, Alex Moreno could pull those guillotines left and right, so he needs to be cautious of that. But I think Joaquin Buckley gets this one done in this one. Another banger alert. Another banger alert. Joe Pfeiffer, 11 wins, 2 losses, taking on Abdul Razak Hassan, 12 wins, 5 losses. All right. Joe Pfeiffer opened up at a minus 300. Now he's all the way up to a minus 450. Abdul Razak Hassan, that dude, he can finish you, man. This is one of those fights where I tell you, do not parlay the favorite and think he's just going to win, and this guy has no shot. You want to know why? Because Abdul Razak Hassan used to be that same guy that they used to parlay 2-3 years ago. He used to be the minus 300 favorite, right? Everybody remembers that. And then he kept losing those fights. And then what happened? They kept keeping him as favorite because he was supposed to be doing this because of what he did before. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm a big Joe Pfeiffer fan. I think he can win inside the distance in here. I'll play him to win inside the distance by sub at that if you want to prop in this one. But Abdul Razak Hassan, man, he goes out there to finish people, man. So this is, and Joe Pfeiffer, he only has like 2 or 3 fights in the UFC. So we'll see. He hasn't really been tested too much. And you're fighting a veteran. So I tell you guys, man, it's the co-main event. Be cautious to the win. Do not parlay that and think that, hey, this is the last leg to hit and this is all I need. Because, man, Abdul Razak Hassan could rain on your parlay and, get them bookies paid. All right, Joe Pfeiffer gets it done inside the distance by sub. Main event time. Got a banger alert. Banger alert. Grant Dawson, 21 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, taking on Bobby Green. 30 wins, 14 losses, 1 draw. Grant Dawson opened up a minus 320 favorite. He's up to a minus 380 now. Bobby Green is always an underdog in every fight, pretty much. When he gets stepped up in competition. Is one of those fighters I've been betting for a long time. I'm real familiar with him. He's from an area where I grew up at over here in like Orange County, Riverside, Inland Empire, and stuff like that. So, real familiar with him. One of those guys that goes out there to put on a fight, put on a show. Hands down, punching you. The volume's going to be there. But Grant Dawson is take down, take you out. That's what he's going to do in this one, folks. I think he gets it done. All right, now look. Let's run through the whole card real quick and let you guys know my parlay to get you paid. Let's go with Mendonca. And let's go with Drew Dober. Okay. Those will be my 2 legs to get you paid. Parlay those up and see what you guys can get. That's what I call my bulletproof parlay. My dog of the day. Let's go with Alex Hernandez. Let's go with my best player, my best prop of the night. I'll go with Murata wins by decision. Alright, Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz, man. If you can't roll with the Pick Dawgz, stay on the porch. I'm covering everything that you guys need in MMA. Smash the like button out there for me one time.